oh man, what a day, what a day, what a day. So a couple updates. You have Benjamin Dixon 29 minutes ago. It's right now about 7 o'clock, December 19th, 2020 on Saturday. 30 minutes ago, Benjamin Pete Dixon, he tweets this. I'll go to bed on this. We absolutely got a primary every single Dem who doesn't support M4A, GND, packing the courts, defunding the police, making D.C. and Puerto Rico a state. I'll be standing next to every one of you regardless of this disagreement. I still love y'all. Period. Wow, he still loves everybody. Oh, I love everybody. Except for Jimmy Dore. Swear to God, at that Jimmy Dore, if we just happen to be sitting in a restaurant, say McDonald's up on Main and 3rd, he comes in, gets himself a Big Mac, and I don't like the tone. Oh, shit's on. Shit's going to be... So, I don't know exactly what to make of this. We absolutely got a primary every single Dem. Is he saying force the vote? Is he saying force the vote? Because he's saying we got to primary them if they don't support it. But if we don't even have the vote, how does he know who supports Medicare for all? It's interesting that he supports the Green New Deal and Medicare for all, defunding the police, making D.C. and Puerto Rico a state. I support every single one of those. Packing the courts. I don't know why, packing the courts isn't exactly progressive. Packing the courts. Maybe we could pack the courts. I don't hate that idea. Let me think about it. So those are progressive, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 progressive issues right there. Green New Deal, packing the courts, defund the police, making D.C. Puerto Rico a state, and Medicare for all. He's saying we got to primary every single Democrat. But his idea was to raise money. We use the squad to raise $10, $20, $30 million to primary people. But how do we know where they stand if we don't have the vote on Medicare for all? Benjamin Dixon, you got to get behind, force the vote. This is where the conversation begins. You're going to be left behind. The conversation already began. They should have began a month ago, but because you got that Führer in chief. Benjamin Dixon, 1 hour. Well, I told you I have 10 levels of turn up, especially with the precise definition of truth is on my side. And if that cost me every single supporter I previously had, I could live, y'all. Deuces. Peace. He keeps on having mic drop moments. But it just, him by himself, typing or him by himself in front of a camera. Shit, bro, you want to go? You want to go? You fucking 4 states away, bro. What are you? I got to get on a plane. I got to schedule this shit. Nah, why don't we just try to talk civil? Can we... Bree Joy 1 hour ago after she demanded an apology. She goes, I have no idea what you're talking about, but this is ugly. And it reflects poorly on you. Just stop. Don't stop. I won't be commenting on this any further. Benjamin Dixon wanted to explain his position. No, here's why I called you a white supremacist supporter. No, listen, Bree, I want to tell you. Since Bree Joy doesn't want to talk, y'all should know that she and I literally spoke on the phone for nearly an hour about the exact issue she used a 30-second soundbite of, and yet she's telling you I should have had the decency to call her? I did. Receipts available upon request. What? Woo, Benjamin Dixon, man, he is just turning. All right, so let's see here. AOC loses the committee seat in Pelosi.
They were saying, I was on a show with Matt
orchestrated coup,
who's a friend of this show, and there's a clip going around of me yelling at him because he was saying that the squad are negotiating for other things besides a floor vote, like committee assignments and stuff like that. And I started screaming at him comedically, shut the F up, you egghead. Nobody voted for the squad so they can go get a committee assignment. Mm-hmm. And people like that clip, so it got passed around. People like that clip a lot. And then some people tried to make fun of it. This is the interesting contrast.
They're sitting there saying that he was actually friends with that one guy that he was yelling at. So they're like best friends, and they're trying to say, look at these best friends. And I like this clip right here. So, my God, Brianna Joy Gray she is just fantastic. She might be better than Katie Halper. I don't know if I want to go that far. Katie Halper, I don't know. Brianna Joy Gray, she is talking to Zizek Zizek, this like fucking communist that's always like, America's sweet. He's got this like terrible lisp, but I guess he's like this slavage. I don't know. I'm impressed. Zizek on climate change, Noam Chomsky, and Bernie Sanders. Let's hear
your book and Chomsky's latest book, which is about climate change, and which essentially says, don't panic. We can take care of this if we spend something like $15 trillion over the next 20 years. You know, this will go away. We'll solve the problem, and then we can go back to struggle. Then we can go back to fighting, for fighting for communism. And your book.
But we have to fight now. That's my only difference.
Right.
No, the only way to really prevent global warming catastrophe is to change the system now. You see, I don't accept this logic of now we are dealing with a real problem, COVID, pandemic, or global warming, or whatever, and let's forget about higher. No, things are happening now. This reset capitalism and so on. Trump, they are all already answers from the other side.
So that communist is pretty pissed off, but that's Brianna Joy Gray doing a fucking interview with like a superstar intellectual. Incredible stuff. There's Jimmy Dore's cracking me up on this. I found this to be pretty fantastic stuff because not only did AOC lose that Energy and Commerce Committee seat, because that was David Soroto's, one of his arguments was, hey, we could get committee seats. Apparently you can't get committee seats. Apparently kissing their ass and voting for them and just giving all your power away immediately upon, entry isn't a good way to, flex your muscle to get, shit done that we all want you to get done. And so, what does Jimmy Dore say about all this?
It's so funny. It's so funny. It's so funny. I take up a lot of space in people's heads. I'm finding that out. I get it. I've got gray hair now. People are jealous of that.
Oh yeah.
People are jealous of my gray hair.
They're like, oh my God.
So guess what?
He says, I get it. I see why everybody is freaking out about little Jimmy Dore out here in California. I get it.
What happens? So you know that committee assignments they're talking about?
Jimmy Dore is kicking ass. He is riding this fucking wave like goddamn expert server.
Nancy Pelosi schemed to screw her out of it. The establishment strikes back. Henry Cuellar and centrist Democrats mutiny against progressives in a key committee fight. The establishment strikes back. Progressives would like to strike back, but now's not the time. Pelosi screwed over AOC today by giving the New York slot to the Energy and Commerce Committee to a much-disliked New Democrat, Kathleen Rice. New Democrat means corporate. The New Democrat means corporate.
Why would we call it? That's not a New Democrat. That's the same Democrat.
So
a New Democrat would be a progressive.
And they gave it to...
So the New Democrat...
Corporate Democrat, Kathleen Rice, instead of AOC, who, unlike Rice, had been endorsed for the seat by every New York Democrat. So AOC was endorsed by the seat by every New York Democrat, but Nancy Pelosi schemed and gave it to Kathleen Rice, who's very unlike. Why? Why did she do that? Because Rice threatened to vote against Nancy Pelosi for Speaker.
What?
And it worked.
That's amazing.
So that's how blue dog conservative Democrats play Nancy.
So what Jimmy Dore just said, that Kathleen Rice, the person that beat AOC for the Energy and Commerce Committee, because that was their argument, right? They're doing the committee things. Oh, we're going to get committees, and that's what he was yelling. Hey, you fucking egghead, fuck the committee shit. So AOC didn't get the committee, kissing ass in the background, doing all that background noise shit. It didn't get it, and Kathleen Rice was able to get the seat because she threatened to withhold her vote against Nancy Pelosi for the Speaker of the House. So, every single member of the House of Representatives can just withhold their vote. They can get one thing. Every single House rep can at least ask Nancy Pelosi now for one thing. You want my vote? She's just got to get a majority or whatever, but, you want my vote? This is what I want. Make it reasonable. This is what I want. Put Medicare for all. Now, put it on the docket. That's what I want. No, that's the one thing I want. I don't want, nope, I'm not going to vote for you. I'm not going to vote for you. We got to put Medicare, Bernie Care, the public option up for a vote if you don't even do that. Because it worked for Kathleen Rice. It worked for Kathleen Rice. The reason why I want to bring this back up is just because Pelosi did this intentionally, right? Pelosi rejected AOC, I guess, fuck them before they fuck you. Pelosi rejected AOC before AOC could reject her. So, yeah, this is an incredible story. Jimmy Dore is on point
threatened to withhold
again.
the vote. And then she got a speaker. She got a spot on a committee. Isn't that amazing?
Oh, my God.
You don't think that's kind of amazing? I thought all those committee appointments were why we can't fight for Medicare for all.
AOC voted for the Patriot Act, and Ben Dixon and AOC both agree that we should not give Julian Assange a pardon. The man who's, a fucking superhero. I think he's like Superman and Batman combined or some shit. No, or no, he's just a weird nerd on a computer who, published some shit. No pardon for Julian Assange. He's an Australian. He's not even an American citizen. I don't even know what would you be pardoning? What would be the crime? I know they're trying to get them and all this shit's going down, but probably no on Edward Snowden too. So Ben Dixon and AOC's got some shit in common.
I thought that's why we can't fight for Medicare for all, because of all those committee appointments, and now that they just took it away from you because you didn't threaten to not vote for her, like we've been telling you. Isn't that amazing? And then she went out after they did this to her. And I got to find the tweet. She went out and ripped the Republican Party.
Oh.
After they did this to her, like a good soldier, she went out and ripped the Republican Party after they did this to her. AOC, I mean. So what happened? Just before the steering committee moved to vote on the energy and commerce slot, Speaker Nancy Pelosi and her leadership team presented a slate of their preferred candidates for 4 out of the 5 seats, leaving 1 seat open, a seat that normally goes to a New York person. It did not choose a nominee for the final seat, which is essentially reserved for a New York member, forcing Rice and Ocasio-Cortez into a head-to-head matchup. I'm taking into account so then they voted against. So Nancy Pelosi packs this thing with a bunch of corporatist Democrats, then they all vote to get rid of AOC. You see how this works?
Mm-hmm.
She leaves that 1 seat open that's supposed to go to a New York person, and it goes to, and then this guy, Henry Cuellar, who's a corporate Democrat, says this. He says, I'm taking into account who works against other members in primaries and who doesn't. He's saying because AOC helped primary some corporate Democrats, so that's why he's going to vote against her. Cuellar successfully fended off a primary challenge from Jessica Cisneros, who Ocasio-Cortez supported.
Oh.
So that's why he's saying, I'm sticking back, because you can't go against people in primaries, so now you're going to get punished. Except in the U.S. House, Democrat Henry Cuellar raises eyebrows by fundraising for a Republican.
Ha! Oh, that's okay.
So apparently you can't democratically primary someone. You'll get punished for that. But you can literally go raise money for a Republican. This is what he did. Cuellar, who has served in the U.S. House since 2005, has long had a reputation as one of the chamber's most conservative Democrats. But Democratic leaders are hopeful Hagar's bid against Carter gains traction. He's fine with those challengers. It's those people to the left he has a problem with. He doesn't mind Republicans. He minds people to his left, as usual. The Democratic establishment hates progressives more than Republicans, way more, in fact. In fact, corporate Democrat establishment Democrats, they actually like Republicans. They don't hate them. They like them. They